It's been a few weeks since we've looked at Cardano's main coin ADA, so it's time to perform some price predictions using technical analysis. Let's check it out. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video, and today we are once again taking a look at Cardano's main coin ADA, performing our usual technical analysis and making some price predictions based on that for the next few days and weeks to come. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe for more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management. So if that tickles your fancy, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I'd also love to know down in the comments section below if you are a Cardano ADA coin holder. Let us know down in the comments. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. As always, guys, welcome into CoinSpot and welcome into the Cardano chart. If you're looking to buy Cardano ADA coin, then there is a link down in the description of this video where you can sign up to CoinSpot and start buying it right now. But without further ado, let's take a look at the Cardano chart. And as you can see, over the past few days, it has been performing quite well after the other dip that just occurred. So the last time we checked this out was on roughly, I think, the 17th of June. So I've just gone to the daily perspective and we're just going to mark exactly where that is. And the 17th of June was at this point here. Make that nice and thick so we can see that. So everything over to the right of that line is what has been going on, and you can see that on this day here we had a pretty big drop, and it went from up here at roughly $1.97 Australian all the way down to, well, this point here, which went to $1.37 Australian roughly, which is quite a decent drop. But the key to note here is, if you look down below, the volume on that drop wasn't actually that large. So it's not like it's a massive dump. Obviously what's occurred is that there just wasn't enough buying pressure there to counter the selling that was going on. Now, as you can see, we've started moving on, and the one day I want to focus on is actually yesterday, which was the 2nd of July. And wow, look at the volume on this day. That is incredible. Compare that to all your other days. Look at the size of this candle on the volume chart. But more importantly, it's interesting to see that we didn't actually move too much as a result of all this buying pressure. And we're actually just now sitting back at the point we were based on when we saw this last. So if we zoom in slightly, let's just take this line away, keeping in mind that obviously that this day is the last day we had a look at it, its lowest point. Let's chuck that in right about there. You can see we're actually making our way back towards this point. And given that Cardano and ADA coin specifically is one of the most promising blockchains out there, I'm not surprised to see that people are taking advantage of the buying opportunities that have presented themselves. What is interesting is the fact that we are now trending in, I suppose, an upwards direction. So let's try and chart this out a bit, see what we can do. Let's get that one in there. Now obviously the lowest point, it's an outlier, but you can see this is probably our trend line. And it looks like what's happening is we are potentially going to break upwards. But it looks like our point of resistance at the moment isn't actually where we were before. It's sitting roughly about here. So we're at a point now where we're going to see potentially a bit of a breakout. And we're currently sitting at $1.92, as you can see on the right, and that's basically where this line is. So we've got basically this much space for it to do one of two things. Best case scenario obviously is we're going up and we're breaking through these points of resistance here. And that would mean we would be aiming for our next, I suppose, price targets, which I'd suggest, based on zooming out, would be roughly around here. And that point is at about $2, which makes sense. Not only is it a area where there's been lots and lots of price action previously. It's also a good psychological number, at least in Australian dollars. So keep in mind, this is not US dollars, guys. This is Australian dollars we are looking at. So that would be my price target if we saw a breakout. Now, let's just zoom out slightly more and go, okay, worst case scenario. What if we didn't break up this way? What if instead the breakout fails and we start heading down? Where will we end up? Well, what I can do is grab this line here, just duplicate it, and you can see that this is probably the point at which there has been plenty of price action, and it's a real flaw for us in the past. So I'd suggest that's where we would be dropping to if we did end up failing the breakout. And that is at roughly that $1.38 mark. I'm assuming we're not going to head there. There's been a bit more confidence coming back into the crypto market, but you never know with these sorts of things. I mean, if we go into the hourly as well, you can see that yes, we have dipped below this, I suppose, trend line, but it has bounced back and recovered sharply ever since. And we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's looking like we are moving in the right direction. You can see the volume is increasing quite substantially, but it is good volume. It is buying pressure, not selling pressure, and that's obvious because the value of the coin is rising as opposed to falling. Simple as that. Now, let's just add in a few more key factors that we always like to look at, including our moving averages. So I'm just going to scroll down here, find a couple of the moving averages. Let's chuck in the 20-day moving average, and let's also chuck in the 50-day moving average and make that one red just so we can see exactly what's going on. Obviously, we had our massive dip after we saw the death cross occur here, where the 20-day moving average crossed below the longer 50-day moving average, but we're now seeing that potentially start to slide, and we've passed back through that 20-day moving average. That would have been a key point of resistance, and it also is acting now as a point, if we zoom in, where we've bounced off. So that is fantastic. It is now becoming a point of support, and we're trending in the right direction. Really positive news. Now, I just want to add one more factor in, and it's another moving average, and it's going to be this time the 200-day, a longer term moving average. And I'm chucking this in because it will really show us where our key area of support is. Let's make this a color that I suppose stands out a bit. We've already got the blues. Let's go pink. There we go. And as you can see, that 200-day moving average is actually just sitting at that point where I was saying we will have support. So this is really a critical support point right now, but I suspect this will keep increasing given that all the price action that has been occurring is obviously above that point. We're still trending beautifully, guys. We are trending in the right direction. So given that obviously we've seen the drops, we know this is the overall crypto market, it's not Cardano itself. There's not too much to worry about from that perspective. I'm also just going to grab the moving average convergence divergence, have a little look at what's going on here on the daily, and as you can see, we're moving in a positive manner now. We had a good short term over the long term cross here, and we're making positive moves. I'm expecting this to really increase if we do, smash through this point of resistance up here. Fingers crossed we do, but obviously it needs to be confirmed before we can start celebrating. Now, as I mentioned, guys, my price target for today's analysis, I'm hoping we're hitting the $2 Australian mark. That is the real key goal here. And we're seeing what we want to see. Higher highs and lower lows over the past week or two. That is fantastic news, given that we've been trending, I suppose, well, we had a bit of a double bottom there. Not double bottom, I suppose, because we had those outliers and dumped significantly. That's alright. But what we can see is we were going down every single day, basically, in this sort of a trend. Now it's changed. We've reversed and we're moving in that direction. What we want to do is break the overall downtrend that we are seeing. I'll just quickly show you that as well. Let's just grab another line, chuck her in at the top, and actually I'm not going to use that point. I'm going to use this point because it's a bigger touch point. We managed to cross above the downtrend, and we've had consecutive days now where we've closed above it and it's moving in the right direction. So I suspect we have seen the start of a reversal coming, which bodes really positive for Cardano and ADA Coin specifically. That wraps up the technical analysis for today, guys. As I mentioned, let us know down in the comments if you are a Cardano enthusiast and an ADA Coin holder, and let us know as well what your thoughts are on the price action that could be seen in the next few weeks to come with regards to the ADA Coin. If you did enjoy today's video, please remember to as well leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, hit subscribe. We cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management. And with that, I'm going to wrap things up. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.